Alright, so what we're going to do is I'm going to open a new assembly, which I have. But before I do that, I'm also going to open a new part. And I'm going to create a 3x3 cube like we did before. 3 tab 3 and extrude it to 3. I'm now going to save this part, and I'm going to call it cube 3 in my case. Okay, I'm going to go to my assembly that I opened, and I'm going to place the new cube number 3. Put some of those in there. You guys have done this in the past. Alright, let's pretend that you put 40 cubes on the screen and you realize that all 40 are incorrect. Okay? If you realized all 40 cubes are incorrect, let's try to change them all with one click. So, first of all, let's select any of the cubes on the screen because they're all twins. Select a cube, right click on it, and you notice I have an open option. And what that's going to do is that's going to open the original thing that I made, the original parent part. So I'll click open. Alright, now this is the original, okay? All the copies were made from this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to the top of it a 1-inch circle perfectly centered into the middle. So I'll use my green dots. I'll come down and add a 1-inch circle, which I will then extrude out to 1 inch. If I click Save now, and I go back to my original assembly, notice all the children have changed. So by going and fixing the original, all the children will follow. So because I opened it once, the original parent lives here. I want to do some more stuff to this. I'm also going to draw on one of the sides another circle, also centered, green dots. Let's make it 1 inch, but in this case it will be a negative, so I will cut it out when I use extrude. Let's make it go in 1 inch. Alright, so what we learned there is parent-child relationship. I've changed the parent, which is this is the original part, which is here, cube 3. I'm going to save the changes, go back to my assembly, and all of the children have changed. So again, one last time, go to the parent. I'm going to change the color of the parent this time. And now if I save it, I go to my assembly, all the children have changed. So we can change, and even if I had like 10 other assemblies that were saved on my computer, it would find all 10 of those, find every one of these children, and change them all. Okay? Alright, make sure you're looking at your screen though. Now, let's put some of these together. So your job is to take your cubes and you're going to modify them and allow them to become sort of a Lego type part. I have another cube, I have a few mother cubes that I made, and I'm going to drag those in. Maybe one of these. I've modified these before, and let's take these and start putting these together. Step 1 is I want these two to go together. I want the top peg to fit into the right side hole. So let's first orientate this one as if you could slide it in. So I'm going to select this individual one here and go to the free rotate button. This allows me to rotate this object as an individual. And you see how I'm lining it up as if I could manually push it together. Alright, so after I say OK to that, get rid of that, I can kind of see that this should fit sort of in there. But doing this by hand does nothing. It doesn't attach it at all. So I'm going to back it up a little bit, and we're going to use that center-to-center constraint. And if you look at the smartboard, you could see those dotted lines that we're going to use. So what I'm going to do is choose constrain. I'm first going to choose the peg and find the center of its axis. That's the center of that peg. Click on that. That's the first selection. And then click inside the other hole, now look at it, takes a while to find it. I don't want the green dot, I want that. That is the center. Now when I click on this, they'll connect together, and it may look awkward when I'm done. Not too bad. Sometimes, I'm going to apply this and cancel. Sometimes the object will actually look like it's inside of the other object like that, which is strange and impossible. We're going to have to fix it. But notice that these two do fit together. They do go through each other, which we don't want. But if I notice that this will rotate on the axis, which is the center. Okay, so let's keep these two from falling apart now. I'm going to separate them so I can actually work in between them. And I'm going to choose constrain. Now this is something we did before, which is using the mate and the mate. And we're going to choose this face. And I want this face to be up against, sandwiched against the face that I can't see. So I need to rotate my object around so I can access this face as well. Now those two faces are together. The rotational constraint still exists. And I'll look at those here with you. Remember, click here, find it in the list, and let's take a look. There's the mate, the center to center, and there's the face to face. So those are the two rules attached. This object should now rotate around the other object. It might be kind of glitchy on your screen. I don't like that everything moves around so much, so I'm going to choose one of my cubes, right click on it, and use a function called grounding. What that'll do is, now that I've grounded the blue cube, you see I have a special push pin symbol attached. I will not be able to move this at all. I can't. I'm clicking and dragging, I can't. But if I grab this one though, this one will move independently in relationship to the other one. Well, let's start adding some more together here. Let's take this blue cube, take this pin, and stick it in that one. So first thing I do is choose the cube and rotate it so that I could imagine it going into its location. Then I bring it sort of nearby, and we're going to grab the center of this pin and the center of the hole. Lock that together. Apply it, make sure to apply everything, and cancel. Now I have the same problem. It moves back and forth, but look, these two are attached. You can see that. The problem is that this one falls apart. So again, let's do the face-to-face constraint again. Constrain, select that face, rotate the entire kit so you can see the other face and smack those together. Apply and cancel. Now I'm starting to create my object here. Remember, this one is grounded, and these now will move independently. You can always ground more than one object, like I'll ground this one too. Now, none of them move except for the last one. The grounding is an imaginary thing. It's only there for your visuals so that you can see that something moves or doesn't. Otherwise, things can really get crazy. So your goal is this. Create a new assembly. Drop into it the cubes that you have made before. Put like 10 or 12 of each. Then you will go ahead and access one of the cubes, right-click on it, and click Open. That opens the let's call it the mother part, the original parent. You will then change that and save it. And when you do, for instance, like I changed the color, and you save it, oh, I didn't do that right. Got to hit OK first. And then save it, just do a quick save, and I go back to my assembly, right here, and it changed all the kids again. Alright? Now remember, you can change colors, you can change anything you want, including features. So one of the assignments we're going to have tomorrow is you will have to make your own parts that will kind of consist of a simple toy kit that I want you to design for my company. And that kit should be at least 3 parts. Those parts should be different looking parts that fit together in numerous ways that can twist and stay together and sort of just make really just a fun kinetic looking sculpture. Kinetic means a moving thing. Okay, so I'm going to get back your computers and I want you guys to try this.